What's going on, guys, and welcome to the new series called Rise to the Top. What this is about is I'm going to be playing the game Development Tycoon. If you don't know what it's about, guys, it's basically about where you play as a leader of a company or a manager of a company that actually develops games, basically for consoles and so on and so on, over a period of 30 years. But what basically we do, you're going to try and get as far as you can. Obviously, you can go bankrupt at some point. It's obviously like the actual Tycoon games, like Walkeez Tycoon and things like that. But with the difference, this time it's about the games. You basically develop your games, you choose your topics, you do a lot of stuff. So let's go into it. It is a really cool game, this, guys. And the reason I chose to shoot, God, I can't speak today. The reason I chose to call it Rise to the Top is because basically you've got 30 years to basically get as far as you can, basically. Obviously it's basically from now, from like the Commodore 64 and the PC days, 30 years onwards. I've not actually finished it yet. I have played it a little bit and I really enjoyed it, so I thought you guys might enjoy it as well. But let's get into it by creating our company. Let's call it, I don't know, Fishwick Studios. Player name, obviously Scott. I'll keep that character. Seems like a cool character. This is where you start off. You start off in your basement. I'm going to pause that for a second to just about it. You start off in your basement. You basically just got to develop a game. That's basically it. So what should we call our first game? Let's make a game that's a military game. Everyone wants military. Let's call it a military action game. Let's keep it simple. Let's call it Armies. Let's pick a platform. Now we can either develop for the PC or we can develop for the Commodore 64. Basically what this game is, they actually can't call it the Commodore 64, otherwise they get done for copyright. But you'll recognise every single console if you know your consoles. Like I know most of my consoles. I know quite a few of them, and I know all of them, I think. But they basically had to go around it by changing the names for copyright reasons and things like that. So, but you'll see as it goes on. So let's go with some 2D graphics to make it simple. Okay, so here we go. Basically what these is about, obviously that's your bugs in your game. You get to choose your development stages. So would you rather completely focus on the engine of the game, completely focus on the gameplay of the game, or would you want a more story-based type of game? But obviously for military action, story isn't really the best thing in the world. Because let's face it, COD and Battlefield doesn't really have the best story. Sorry for any fanboys out there, I do play COD and I do play Battlefield, so I am not being hypocritical, so don't bite me off about it. But they've not really got the best stories in the world, but oh well, it still needs a story. Really, I think we'll go with that, obviously because gameplay is a massive thing there. We'll keep the engine up as well, maybe put the stories down a bit. As I was saying, basically, these are bugs in your game. These is what you get for designing the game and so on and so on. Obviously, you rank up, the more you play the game, the more games you develop and so on and so on. So, development stage 2. Let's go up against the AI, because obviously there's not really much talking in an action military game. Sorry, excuse me. So we'll put that up, we'll put the level design up a bit. Keep those the same like that. Obviously the more you go on, the more you get better at programming, things like that, so the less bugs you'll have and so on and so on. You select the features that you want. It's such a cool game, it's so good. I have to thank James for actually doing this for her, because he bought it and so on and so on. Got me into it, I should say. Right, so what would we need? Obviously we'd need some good graphics and some good sound. We'll put sound up all the way. World design's not really anything major. We'll keep it as that for now. So we've got 7 bugs there, 8 bugs, but we're also getting stuff. So now we can actually wait. Obviously you don't want to release a game with bugs. We know how well that's worked out for other companies. But as you continue on, the more you go up. So now, let's finish the game off. So this is an experience gain. So we've got a new topic and a new combo, so we get more bonuses. So level 1, level 1. obviously the more you do more stuff, the more this goes up and so on and so on. But you've got to keep to game demand, and you get reviews and so on, which you'll see now. See, obviously so we've got our first new release game. So what will we get? Could it be more? So 6 is not bad. 6 again. I think we might be getting 6s all across the board. 6! So we got 6 all across the board, which isn't bad. Now, let's just release our first game. Armies! It's such a great start, getting fans quickly. So obviously the more fans you get, the more people are going to buy your games, so on. They'll stay to you. See, so we've sold 3.3k units in its first week. So we have 46 in the chart at the moment. So we now have 18 fans because we released the game Armies. Obviously that goes up over time because obviously you send more things. Got an extra 9 fans there. Those fans will always buy your games regardless. Obviously, but if you release a game we don't like, you will lose fans and so on. Obviously that's our money that we're going in, so getting some more stuff. So let's actually, now we can do researching. So what researching allows you to do, like I said, you can either create your own custom game engine, which allows you to do things like save your games, cutscenes, add a controller on for when you got later on, like when you go to the NES or the TES as it's called in this game. So let's actually create or research a new topic of a game. So let's go with sci-fi. Everyone loves a bit of sci-fi. So that costs research points. Research points you do get all the time, obviously when you're developing your games and so on and so on. Sci-fi, okay. Well, so now we can actually create a sci-fi game. So since we've developed that, let's call it. So let's pick the topic. Sci-fi. What should we have? Should we have a sci-fi adventure game? Seems reasonable. Now, what would we have though? Do we have? Oh, let me to do that. Do we have it for the Commodore or sci-fi adventure, or do we make it for the PC? Obviously, the market share at the moment, the G64 is obviously a lot more, but the PC is greater, but PC is less to develop for. So what should we go for? Let's go with a Commodore. We might as well. So it's a sci-fi adventure. What should we call it? I don't know. Across the galaxy. So let's have it as a 2D game. Hey, so the Armies actually sold 10,000 units, so obviously that's a milestone for us. What should we have? We want some good story quests. Engine, we want gameplay up though. Let's do that, shall we? See, obviously the more it goes up. Artificial intelligence, meh. Some dialogues in there because obviously it's a space adventure. Let's go with that one. Okay, so ours is actually called off the market now. So we sold 10,000 units and 73,000 in cash. So it's not too bad. See, the Commodore G64 is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector. Customers prefer the lower price, greater reliability, and a flexible hardware configuration over home computers. See, Commodore, they actually can't call it the Commodore, but copyright reasons, things like that. Experts say this spell might end up competing hardware manufacturers. Little delay know what comes in the future. Sound not so much. World design obviously, because it's a space adventure with graphics. Keep that down. So let's get rid of these bugs, then we shall release the game. There we go. Now, so we've got experience, new records, there we go. Well, hey! So obviously the more stuff you release, the more combos you get and things like that. So great combo, a sci-fi adventure is a good combination. Basically runs like the real world, which is pretty cool. But not always, but it's still good. So let's release the game and see what it comes up with. See, we're losing money there though for monthly costs across the galaxy. Oh, I don't think people liked it very well. I don't know. Right, get 5. No. Oh no, people didn't like it very much. Not bad, but not good. Oh well. See how many units we're selling the first thing. So we sold 2.8 units across the galaxy. So now we've actually unlocked contract work. So what this means is we can, if we want some extra money, what we have to do, we have to basically get design and that done. If you do it, you get 23,000. If you don't do it, you actually lose money. So obviously you don't want to take on too big a contract straight away, because obviously the more you do, the less chance you've actually got of losing your money. Let's research something else. A hospital game. That's actually changed before. What should we do? No, let's create a fantasy game. We don't actually have enough to you research a game engine yet. See, Ninvento. Obviously, that's supposed to be Nintendo. Wildly successful arcade game Dinky Kong. Obviously, that's referring to Donkey Kong. So that is actually talking about the TES or the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. So now we're actually researching a fantasy game, and obviously everyone knows what fantasy goes with a fantasy RPG. So let's develop a new game, a fantasy RPG. What shall we call it? What shall we call it? Fantasy RPG. Writer's block. I don't know actually. Let's pick the platform, obviously for the Commodore or the Governor. Fantasy RPG. I really don't know, to be honest. It's not a problem with this type of game. You have to actually think to pick up new stuff. It's weird. I really don't know, to be honest. I really don't know. Let's call it, I don't know, Destiny Hearts. It's going to cost 30 grand to do. So obviously with an RPG you really want more story quests, and gameplay is essential. Engine not so much. Let's do that. Oh, that's a lot. Level design will keep at a steady pace. Dialogues will keep a bit lower than that. Artificial intelligence is no point because, say for example in Oblivion, the AI is thick as fuck. It is as thick as pig shit, as we say. I think we'll keep with that. I do love the sound design in this game. Cool. Right, sound not so much. We'll keep the world design up. Graphics and sound will keep like that. It's off the market. So I didn't do as well as Armies, but oh well. There we go. The home gaming console called the TES early next year. Obviously, that is the Nintendo Entertainment System. But what this will allow us to do now is actually allow us to be actually able to do game controllers. So we'll finish that off. So we'll finish that off. New record. Well, hey. So obviously a great combo, they all go together. Oh, doing well, doing well. Oh, nearly leveled up. Okay, so that's a lot of level ups. So what do people think? so people, I think they liked it a bit. I think we're getting 7s across the board. Are we going to get 7s across the board? Let's hope so. Oh no, we've got 7, 7, 7, 8. Cool. So people seem to really enjoy Destiny Hearts. And it sold quite a bit. It's quite a lot. So ranked 28th at the moment. As I was saying before about the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the TES, it actually allows us to, when it comes out, actually research a controller. It allows us to actually do that. So we have to do that. Should we create? We haven't actually got enough to create a custom game engine just yet. So what should we do? Let's develop a new game. What should we develop? Let's do a sequel, shall we? Let's do a sequel to Armies. So Armies 2. 2D graphics. Obviously, I don't want that. Want that.